When she was 4 years old, a high fever seared away a large portion of Linnaea Mallette's hearing. However, adversity has not stopped her from living a full life, including work she loves, a happy marriage, and contributions to her community. Through her inspiring story, you will learn how to create a life you love to live.
So what are we talking about here today? Success. Your success. Now, the tips and techniques I shared today, they aren't necessarily new, unique, but they are tried and true. Simply put, they work. I've used them to transform every area of my life, and you can do the same. Now, some of you may be thinking you hear an accent. It's not an accent, it's a speech impediment. I am profoundly hearing impaired. When I was just 4 years old, a fever of 106 degrees burned off about 2/3 of my hearing. Never heard crickets, can't hear the last octave of a piano. I don't hear birds. Well, I do hear crows and parrots and cranky seagulls. Lovely. In speech, I don't hear S's, CH's, or T's. Speech comes at me as chunks of sound, and I carve meaning into those chunks by the context of a conversation, and of course, by reading lips. So how did this hearing disability play out in my life? I was withdrawn, shy, fearful, depressed. I used drugs and alcohol to manage my moods. I sheltered myself from the big, bad world by living at home till I was 38 years old. Now, from my perspective, my hearing impairment was the smaller of my challenges. My bigger challenge were my parents. My mom was a lovable alcoholic, and my father chronically depressed. I grew up in an emotional environment of confusion and instability, and a physical environment of sloth. Now, as I'm talking, I see some of you nodding your heads. We're in this one together. Most of us have had a dysfunctional significant other. They could have been well-meaning, right? But they were dysfunctional. That negatively impacted our lives. But enough about me. Let's talk about you and your success. What I'm going to do today is literally take you by the hand and walk you through so you can see, so you can do those things that take your life to the next level. Read my lips. If I can do it, you can do it too. Now, I knew this was a major risk. I was going where I'd never gone before, seeking a relationship that might actually be functional. But I was willing to step the comfort zone and meet that incredibly handsome violinist. So for 3 months, I set out to get this man's attention. I wore bright clothes, red. Didn't notice me. Then I had long, thick, curly blonde hair. So I walked with great energy to make my hair bounce. Nothing. I wore short skirts. Gave him some leg. Zippo. Nothing. 3 months I could not get this man to notice me. Then my luck changed. One night at a post-concert party, I was a volunteer at a local orchestra, so I got to go to the parties after the concerts. Great fun. There he was talking to somebody I know. So I took a deep breath and sauntered on over to Brian, my friend, and I said, "Hi, Brian." And he looked at me like a side dish he didn't order. So I ignored him and looked at him, and I almost fainted. Not only was he drop dead gorgeous in a tuxedo, and ladies, what man isn't gorgeous in a tuxedo? He had the color eyes that makes me swoon, green. So I turned to Brian. Brian did the introductions. Linnaea, this is Bruce. Bruce, this is Linnaea. And then he walks away. Brian walks away, leaving me there for a few seconds of awkward silence with a man who's basically been ignoring me for 3 months. He turned to walk away, and then I took my risk tolerance and blew it through the roof. I reached out and touched his shoulder, and I said, Bruce, I have been wanting to talk to you for 3 months. He turns around, his eyebrows shoot up. I think he finally noticed me. And then I said, would you mind going in the kitchen to talk with me? Because I'm hearing impaired, and I won't be able to hear you with all this noise. Talk about laying yourself open. He conceded. We went in the kitchen, we talked for 2 hours. We went out on a date 2 weeks later, and ladies and gentlemen, I'm happy to report we have been together 23 years. Thank you. The moral of this story is nothing great is ever achieved without taking a risk. So, how are you all doing? Are you having fun? Yes. Yeah, learning a lot? Yes. I promise you, you won't be the same after today. And I've saved the best till last, the real meat and potatoes of success. What I'd like you to do is pair up with your partner again, and what you're going to share is a challenge from the past. Something that was an adversity, a blunder, a mistake that you made or somebody else made that had an impact on you, or some chaotic situation. For example, for me, I would share about my 15-year career at UCLA coming to an end when I failed miserably as a team leader. And once you've shared that, I want you to share the outcome for you of having gone through that challenge. What was the outcome? So you each get 2 minutes to share. You ready? Start now. It never ceases to amaze me, the energy level in the room after this exercise. I mean, don't you feel inspired, excited? By a show of hands, how many of you realized or remembered the gift, the benefit, the positive outcome of having gone through that experience? By a show of hands, every single one of you. I'm not surprised, because that is life. It's a natural consequence of living life. So, adversity, blunders, chaos, a natural part of life, a natural part of being a human being, the natural evolution of reaching greater and greater levels of success. I like to think of the ABCs of life as the tools life uses to shape us, sharpen us, shine us up, so we can sparkle and be who we are meant to be. If we could really get this and remember when we're going through a situation that's challenging, whether it's now, in the future, there is a benefit, there is a gift, there is a blessing, always. And if we could anticipate that, maybe even look for it, it might show itself sooner. If nothing else, we can lighten up and enjoy the journey.